My movie pick of the week is about Pat Tillman. It's a documentary that's coming out on the 20th of August, and it's called The Tillman Story. Now, if you don't know anything about Pat Tillman, you can Google him and find out more, but basically what this is about a guy that was a professional football player for the Arizona Cardinals. 9/11 happens. He is so outraged that our country has been devastated by this chicken crap attack by Osama bin Laden and all his clowns, that he decides that he's going to quit professional football and join the Army. He joins the Army in 2002, and he becomes a ranger. He goes to ranger school, all this other stuff. And then in 2004, in a skirmish in Afghanistan, Pat Tillman is killed. Now, it's originally reported that it was an engagement with hostile forces. But as the truth finally comes out, it wasn't hostile forces at all. Pat Tillman was killed by friendly fire. Now, he has a mother by the name of Dannie Tillman. And Dannie, when they found out, and after the government denied all this and whatever, she went ballistic. She started spearheading this campaign to get to the bottom of the death of their son. And, I mean, it goes to Washington, D.C., special congressional hearings are done and whatever. And, I mean, you talk about a cover-up. I mean, this cover-up, the only thing that actually compares to the cover-up of Pat Tillman was the Vietnam War. I mean, and that's how it really compares to me, okay? This is a documentary that tells that story. There's interviews with everybody that's concerning the Pat Tillman scenario. You're going to see testimony from the military brass. You're going to see testimony from congressmen and all these other things. And, you know, like I said, if you Google Pat Tillman, you're going to find out a lot about this because there are tons of sites, tons of places, including the official Pat Tillman website, that will tell you what's going on. Now, I got to tell you something. You know, friendly fire is a subject that the military and, of course, the congressional powers that be don't really like talking about. Why? Because it's a slap on their face. You know, I mean, how do you go to somebody and say, hey, your son died? Would you rather tell him your son died because he was a hero, or would you rather say because somebody was stupid on our side and killed him? 3 bullets in the head killed Pat Tillman. And when you start researching it, you're going to absolutely be livid, just like I was when I first heard about it a couple of years ago from one of my co-hosts, Nadira. She told me about it, and I did I guess it was a couple of years ago. I did something about it. I made some kind of radio thing that I did. I don't remember specifically, but that's when I first understood about what was going on and was livid back then. And now the fact that the documentary is out, I am just can't tell you what a great documentary this is. Saw it last night. It really is riveting. I normally don't do documentaries for the Rabbit Zone, and I don't do documentaries for like movie picks, but this one I had to do because Pat Tillman to me was a huge hero, not only from a congressional standpoint and Purple Heart and all these other awards I gave him, which that could be another subject that could put me on a rant, but I'm not. But I tell you, when you see this documentary, you're going to sit there and you're going to realize that, wow, that's unbelievable. And if you think this is an isolated incident where military men and women around the world, for our allies and the United States, are killed by friendly fire, you just are fooling yourself. So if you want to know more about the Pat Tillman story, take a look at this.
Pat Tillman loved the game of football. Yet he loved America even more.
Pat Tillman was the most famous enlisted man in the military.
He thought that going into Afghanistan was the right thing to do.
Times like this, you stop and think about just how good we have it, and the flag is a symbol of all that.
Pat Tillman, who gave up a multi-million-dollar contract in professional football, has been killed.
Tillman ordered his men up a hill to attack terrorists that had pinned down part of his platoon.
Tillman's voice was heard issuing commands to take the fight to the enemy forces.
Tillman's family will receive the Silver Star.
Pat sacrificed himself so his brothers could live.
I knew that things were going to come out that were going to make that ceremony invalid. They had told me, you need to keep your mouth shut about it. I was told, your career is on the line.
And when somebody tells me something, in the Army, you salute and, about face and go get it done.
What they said happened didn't happen, and so you have to set the record straight.
Dannie committed herself to trying to figure out exactly what happened to her son.
People start asking questions, and then all of a sudden the Tillman story changes.
I just remember Pat yelling his name. I'm Pat Tillman. Why are you shooting at me?
Every piece of evidence that could ever be used is eliminated.
All the generals were lying.
I can't be sure. I can't tell you. It's a guess. I don't know.
I don't recall precisely how I learned that he was killed.
This goes pretty damn high.
To find out that the military were the very people to lie to us, it's outrageous.
Okay, there you go. It's called The Tillman Story. It comes out on the 20th of August. Josh Brolin is the narrator of the thing, and like I say, it's got documentary footage of all these things, including a lot of people that served with Pat over there in Afghanistan. And I think you're really going to enjoy this. This is absolutely a 3-rabbit-up. Guarantee it's a 3-rabbit-up. You're going to be completely entertained. It is rated R. There's a lot of language in the thing, so those parents that want to possibly take their young children to, you might not want to take them to this because there is a heavy barrage of language because people are really calling it like they see it.